Do I have cancer? Am I currently in active addiction? Let's go ahead and get all that out the way right now. Anytime. Number 9. Mr. Winterland. Where the fuck you been at? It always starts with a trip to the ER, doesn't it? So my trip to the ER, that was for a series of infections which ended up being diagnosed folliculitis, which is an infection of hair follicles. If I'm gonna be honest, 100%, like I'm worried like HIV. I'm like, is these lesions? Is this that? So before I go on, I'm gonna share the test results that I'm most proud of. Now, you understand, as an addict, when you lose a lot of weight, people are quick to judge. And I had shed a lot of pounds very quickly. When I took my blood and urine test, these are the negative results right here. Please excuse the amount of punching in and out that I keep doing. This topic brings a lot to the surface for me. For those that don't know me personally, most of my family have died from either cancer or overdose. So this brings a lot to the surface in my mind as I'm trying to have this conversation while looking at myself in this camera. So moving forward, I scheduled a colonoscopy. I went through the torture of drinking this drink, which I'm 6'2". I have a big head. That's the reference. But that shit's torture. If you ever got to go through that, be prepared. Like, it is not it at all. But I put myself through it, made my insides feel like they were on the outside, and showed up for my appointment, and they refused to see me because I did not have a scheduled ride home, and you're not allowed to take yourself. So I went through all that for nothing. Luckily, my primary care appointment was 2 days later. And I got my blood and urine results, which came back in, I guess, what you could consider the best possible outcome. I do not have cancer of any shape or form. I'm still questionable about diabetes because somewhere along the line I have a son who's type 1, and every one of my test results came back with a high glucose reading. And I asked my primary care about that, and he's not concerned, but in the back of my mind that still bothers me. But apparently my diagnosis is a thyroid issue. You know what I mean? They still have to do more monitoring and testing to come up with a treatment plan for that. And aplastic anemia, which still is not optimal, like, especially for someone who's high strung and works as hard as I do. Like, those things beat you in the head a little bit. So moving forward, I'm gonna try to put more time into this social media thing. I don't see me taking off like that because apparently, like, people don't really relate to what I'm talking about, and that's fine. But people aren't subscribing, liking, sharing, those kind of things that all these people beg you for. I'm not begging. I don't beg for nothing. You do what you feel. If you support wholeheartedly though. Don't halfway support anybody. Not me, not your best friend, not your cousin, not who you associate yourself with. If you really gonna support somebody, support them. If you hear noise in the background, apparently, I think it's my recycling day. I didn't put my recycling out. But that being said, I do got some other things. I fell in the financial straits behind the health thing, and then I had we had a contractor not pay their bills, which ended up dealing with me not getting paid the way I was supposed to get paid. So I'm currently lining myself up to stop being dependent on other people, man. Not an employer, not anybody. So I'm gonna start a small business here. You know, I've done the thing with selling contacts. I've done other things, but I mean, official licensed small business here in Baltimore. I'm gonna pause this because I don't know how loud that's showing up, but I'll come back to you in a minute. Give me a second. While I have a minute before they come back up the alley, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I want to get a couple more videos done today because there's a lot of topics that's on my mind that's been going on personally and in the world that I kind of want to talk about. So I'm going to try to bang out a couple videos today. They won't all be released today, but I finally go back to work tomorrow. My employer's back in town after we got fucked 2 weeks ago. But my employer's a great person. We got plenty of work lined up, and I'm putting bids on my own jobs out here in my neighborhood. Hopefully this $5,000 tile job comes through, because that'll set me up in a little bit better position after being depleted financially. Oh, you know, matter of fact, while we're talking about depletion, when I came back to I had two jobs for a long time. I was a pipe fitter, and I do home remodeling. But my employer for doing pipe fitting, there's a supervisor who's going through a very similar issue where he may have cancer. And I'm gonna tell you now, brother, I am not your friend. I don't really care for you as a person, man, but God, I pray that you don't have to go through any of that for you and your family. Just because we don't line up in our views and standards and morals doesn't mean as a human being that I don't wish the best for you. I actually made a video about bro early in my TikTok thing. If you go back and look, you'll see. You'll know it has his initials in it. But for bro, I know what you and your family are going through. And you and I talked about this on my last day there. But I genuinely, wholeheartedly hope the best for you and your family, man. I do. If you see this, if you don't, if you hear about it secondhand from my friends at work, I really, really do hope everything works out for you, man. But with that, I'm gonna wrap. I'm gonna call it this what it is, that's what it was, and this is what it be like.